Hey, what's up? It's Achilles here on Indecisive TCG, and we are playing your boy Sanji. He's down -1, activate up to one Straw Hat type event card from your hand with a cost of 3 or less. And then his second effect is when attacking, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of your opponents, then you get to draw one card rested. So basically you get to play a 3 cost event for free, as long as you Dom minus first and then attack. Don't forget to do that, because if you attack uh, before you Dom minus, then you won't get the effect because you won't be equal to, and you'll still get to play the card out for minus a Don, but just something to think about when sequencing with the Sanji deck. So, with this Sanji character, we're playing mostly events, and I would say one of the stars of this deck is a card that came out in OP11. It's for 3 Don. You get to bottom deck a 4 cost or less, but it's basically get the bottom deck it for free. This definitely is clutch. I wish I could run more, but we can't, just because this deck is really tight. Another key card that we get in OP12 is if your leader is multicolor, it's a 3 cost Straw Hat Crew. Return one of your opponent's characters with 4 or less to your hand, or if you have 6 cards or less in your hand, draw 2 cards. So this will help you find cards that you need. If you have a lot of cards in hand, you can always throw you can kind of control board with this. This is really good. Another card that you can really control board with and draw is this 3 costs. I call it blow. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of your opponent's field, draw 1 card. Then give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 costs during this turn. So you get to make something that they have out there weak, as well as drawing a card. So you're constantly drawing cards with this deck. Another one is if your leader is Sanji, take the top 3 cards of the deck, put 1 in your hand, and put the rest at the bottom. Very good card. You get to pick anything and it doesn't whiff 100%. We have this other card that's draw a card, but if you have 4 events in your trash, your leader gains 4,000 power. It is your leader, not your characters. So when you plan it out, if you are okay with taking hits, you can go ahead and just use the main effect, draw a card. And then you also are going to want cards rested or used in this deck that like 1. So the idea is to start your turn, use one of these 1 cost effects, and then minus a Don, and then play out one of the 3 cost of effects, or you can attach to a character and swing. So, and then we have some of the older cards, Gum Gum Rain, just good to protect yourself, especially since you're running 37 bricks. You're not running too many characters at all. I think like 14 characters in total. Kaya, just good for cycling. You want to draw 2 cards, put cards in hand, fill that trash, because you have the main character, the guy that you're gonna beat down and protect the ship. This character gains 1,000 for every 5 events in your trash. If this character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may return 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck instead. So this is a thing that you can just kind of throw down, let it sit there, and let it get powerful, and then eventually swing with it. They can't really get rid of it, and they only can really get rid of it if they swing into it. But if you have them at like 7,000 power and you're swinging with them, it's a lot easier to defend that Sanji than it is that Sanji. It just does suck that this doesn't protect him. If only it was like protect a Sanji, then that would make this deck a lot easier for you to play a little bit more aggressive. But definitely good. You definitely want to fill your trash up with events, which is why we are playing a one of Usopp. This Usopp has actually came in clutch. I threw it in just to like test it, just to play around with it. But throwing 7 cards in trash, you might hit a character, but for sure you're gonna throw in a good chunk, at least 3 events in there, which will most of the time you get the rush swing with him, and then these guys get plus 1,000. Depending on how many you have on the field. I mean, they all get plus 1,000. So this is really clutch, especially late game. You can kind of throw a Dawn on him and then get Dawn back, or get some of that Dawn back that you play for him towards the Sanji. So that's pretty great. And then also you can always, to get that extra 1 card that you're missing, use the event just because, to try to get a draft. Just get him as strong as you want while you're going for game. As well as, I forgot about this Rayleigh, who all she needs for trash is an event. So by your 4 Dawn turn, you should be able to do that. And then this character gains plus 2,000 and 5,000. So, I mean 5 cost. So it's going to be really hard for them to pop really early. And with the 7,000 defense, really easy to protect yourself. As well as, if you need someone to swing with, she will be a great additional swing. Another one of that we have, and I think is great, especially since we are trashing so many cards with our Gum, just with bottom decking a lot of cards, is this Ivankov. You need 4 cards in trash, but regardless, on KO you get an event back. So something that could be as eventful as Gum Rock, you grab that back, or even Gum Jet, just in case you don't have this, or if you want less Dawn and you just want to get rid of a chump blocker. This one is really great for doing that. You can also grab back your 0 cost event. So if they're going for game, your last block, you get this back, or you get a Gum Giant back, and you can live during that turn. That's why this deck is pretty good. You have to think a lot. This isn't like a like simple no brain. It is, you definitely have to think a lot, and I think like sometimes all your moves matter, or like playing it perfectly is what's going to get you the game. But it is very tough, and there's like matchups you definitely win against is black, because once you get the Sanji out, once you get the Rayleigh out, they can't really pop it. So that's really good, and you get to go wide with these Sanjis, as well as you're able to remove their smaller stuff from off the board, or even their bigger stuff from off the board. So the Sanjis are really great into the black matchup. Most black players, once they see you playing Sanji, they kind of just throw the games out. So I don't have those. I do have them from an earlier match when I was playing Sanji, but it was definitely a different build. So if you guys want to see that, just let me know down in the comments. But we can go ahead and get into the games. I think I talked about everything. Yeah. All right. Here is our first match against Rayleigh, a big meta deck. And for sure, I wanted to search for the pudding, just to have something to swing into his bodies, or even be like aggressive. And we're able to find cards that we need. Blow is a really good card in this matchup, just because you want to control his body. You don't want his body to be out of control. Generally, that's how he went. So we have 3 Dawn turn. We don't have any events that we really want to play for free right now. Blow is great. It draws us a card, which may find us what we need. But because we don't have anything to swing into. We don't want to kind of waste it. Swinging 5/5 here, we know he automatically take and kind of stop. It pushes the brakes on him because he won't swing, or I mean, for sure he won't be swinging twice into us. It does give us one less body to swing into their bodies, but we definitely have some event cards that kind of control his board. I guess that's what we're hoping to see. The Sanji, I don't mind on the board because we'll probably take that hit for sure. But the Luffy definitely is something to be a problem. We have 8 cards in hand, so we're not able to use our burst to draw cards, even if we try to play a few cards out. So we're gonna play the Usopp, and this is the tech one, because now we get to throw cards in our trash. And it looks like we got rid of our red rock, which in this matchup I would say is not too bad, but we are going to be able to return his Luffy back, and then swing into the body on board. And we kind of set up our Sanjis that way. So now our Sanji set up, our Reiju set up, even our Ivankov becomes a blocker if we decide to play her next turn. So we have a few options here. He's going to do his leader effect, give the Sanji +2, kill himself a little bit, which is great for us because he's definitely lower than I would want to be at this early stage of the game, but maybe he just wants to be very aggressive and put pressure onto me. Swinging 7. We are able to counter out of this. The question is, do we want to? Having the Usopp on the field is definitely a great answer, a great choice. If we're able to get him to swing into him one more time, that definitely will be great, but we can't do we can't defend it that much, and we'll definitely take 1 to life. So 2 cards protects our life. Given those 2 cards protects our life, we definitely get a card we definitely want to see. We'll play out a card that way we have a -1. I mean, a card that we can minus. Now the question is, do we want to play out this card, draw another card, and give -3 here? It gives us a 0 cost, and we also can leave 1 up for Gum Gum. But we definitely controlled his board when it comes down to that. Now he can play, I think, that Luffy that we bounce back to his hand eventually. Which again, we wish we would have bounced our bottom deck, which is fine, and he does. I think that was the best play. Well, I don't know his hand, but that's definitely a play. Reestablish bodies. We only have 2 bodies on the board, but our Sanji is at +1 for now. We see what he gives. He could add down the Nami, become a problem, right? Well, he has at least 2 swings, and he has a lot of Dawn. So I don't know if he wants to play another body or put a little bit more Dawn on Nami and confirm, or make it hard for me to counter out of his attacks. He does do only 6, which is fine with us, because if he does throw a lot of Dawn on Nami, which the Kid Killer definitely did not expect that. We're gonna go ahead and take, and now we have 2 Gum Gum Giants, 3 Gum Gum Giants. That is a lot of cards to have. We have nothing to kind of affect his board. He has no active Dawn up. I think the best thing for us now is definitely going to that Kid Killer. That Kid Killer can't be there. We do have a lot of counter. And the Ivankov can also give us a blocker plus another event like zero cost back to our hand after we use it. So just a hard decision to make. I'm not going to be able to, and yeah, so we got him to counter out of that one. I think, yeah, adding a little bit more Don to the Sanji here. He's at 5 cards. He could go down lower, but we do get the Kid Killer off board. We get the Vonkov, and we have 2 Gum Gums if needed. We have a lot of counter cards here. The real thing here is, how do we want to play this? Do we want to use 2 Gum Gum Giants? Do we want to take a hit? See what we get out of there. We can use the Vonkov block to give us a card to pitch off of Gum Gum Giant. That way we don't have to get rid of the 0 cost per se. And if any of the cards that we get from Gum Gum are bricks, we can use our 0 cost to make that a 1k counter. So let's just see what they're gonna do. And there you go, starting off with leader effect, which we go ahead and give to him. Now he's choosing the Sanji, which means he takes another life, which is in our favor. With 2 Don up and us being an event deck, that is a little crazy, but he does have a good chunk of swings there. Just trying to see if I Gum here and just do all the math. That is a 7k swing coming from Sanji. There's a 6k swing with no Don. This is very tough, but we'll go ahead and take. Hopefully, like, bait them into a, was it 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12k swing. Well, not 12k, because he still needs to block. I mean, he still needs to get us to block before he goes all in on his Don. And yeah, he decides to give up. Would he have been able to beat us? I think with the amount of Gum Gums that we have, plus a blocker, with him having no big bodies, I think we actually counter out everything. Definitely would have loved to play it out just to make sure, but just seeing how much counter I have in hand with 2 Don up and a blocker, it's most likely he wouldn't get through. And now we're on to our next Rayleigh. This is another hand I'm thinking about keeping for sure. We can bounce his cards back to hand. We can bottom deck his Luffy. We have the Usopp to set up our cards. We did take first, so we can be the aggressor. We can't play the Usopp down. And we actually have no bodies to play for quite a few turns. We do have the Usopp 4 or 5 Don, which means he gets to add a Don. So we actually don't have too many plays with this hand, but there's a lot of counter we can do with this hand, and that's the thing that we focus. And then we get to put in, which changes everything, because now she can give us a card to play. She can give us a good turn. Just reading the boa, see what she does with her active main. And we can search, or we can get a for sure bounce back to hand. Bounce back to hand are 2 draws, but I think we're gonna go ahead and just get a play for now, and we'll look for. We got Sanji, so we got a character play, which isn't too bad. We got our key card. It definitely would have been good to get the -3 to counter, but we also need the bodies to swing with. So our hand is looking pretty healthy. If he swings into us, we're taking. Luckily, I don't think that boa. Well, the boa is a 3K, so plus leader effect is 2. That's a 5K swing. Um, we really don't want to take this, but we really don't want to use a Ivankov. Luckily, um, confirm reveal. He plays out the Sanji. Two cards we kind of don't want to see, but we can definitely handle them. And with him getting the extra done, good thing we have the 2K to counter. Now, if he would have swung 5 of us, we probably would have had to use a 2K, and that would have been telling of our hand. But luckily, we did not. So we can go ahead and play the Usopp play. If we do that, it'll be aggressive, but it definitely will set up our trash. Or we can see if they'll protect the boa. See if we can get a card out of hand. Most likely they let this go, right? You think. But he's thinking. Especially if he wants to do the active main, but he goes ahead and gives it to us, which now we're taking his whole board. There's nothing he can do about it. We'll take the Dawn away from her. We will bottom deck him, get him out of there, and now we will go ahead and I guess it doesn't matter if we swing or not, so we'll go ahead and swing, make him think that the Sanji is safe. I think if we bounce the Sanji back to hands, but it's a potential he uses it for counter. I doubt it because you definitely want to do a 2K, not 2 1Ks, but just in order for him to not have the best option, get rid of one of his hockeys out, or get rid of one of his hockeys, and then we'll bounce that, leaving him boardless. I think my gameplay against Rayleigh would be to just leave him boardless. That'll definitely slow him down while also having cards he can't remove. His job definitely here would be to find a body to play Luffy and then play the Sanji out again. I think would definitely be his play if he can find it with the Nami. He's thinking, and I see him draw a Sanji from OP1, so that must be the 2K, and it is. I'm okay with him playing out this Sanji for sure, because then he's taking our life and it's making it a little bit easier if it goes into like race mode. All right, let's see what he grabs. The Zoro. That Zoro is really annoying in this deck. Definitely the answers that they want to see in black matchups or heavy removal matchups is being able to play cards like Zoro and still be able to swing and give him that aggressive look. He grabs a Sanji, he grabs Zoro, then he grabs Sanji. That Nami Sanji, so annoying. If you swing into him, he gets to draw cards, has a lot of bodies. We're gonna take, but we know he's gonna drop the Zoro down. And we'll go ahead and give him the 2K we would have gave him before. He has the Zoro sideways. So question is what I want to do here. I definitely, when I can, sneak in a Usopp hit. I'm not sure if a Usopp hit that's 5 Dons would be the best play here. I definitely would want to swing into the Zoro. No removal plays, and yeah, there's a lot of things we can do. I think maybe Swinging 7 here for sure. Trying to get counter out of his hand. If he does try to protect it, we have the rush Usopp to either swing into it or try to just set up our counter. Most likely swing into him if he does counter out of that. Get him down from the 6 cards that he has in hand. And now he's at 4. But we also can find other plays. I think Usopp is still the player that we're going to look for. And just swing 5-5, leave a Don up to keep him alive. So we're going to try to shut down the Zoro. If he goes down to 3 cards in hand, that's great. We know he had the counter in hand, but if he wanted to lose the Sanji, and I think he had 2 Sanjis, so maybe he could have got rid of 1, or maybe he wanted to establish both Sanjis as a body. Or maybe not just go down to 2. There's a lot of things we know he could have countered that for sure. And I believe this is a card that's going to add a card to his hand. It looks like he got the Conqueror Hockey minus 1,000. That is really good, especially since the minus 1,000 you can use on anything else. I think I'm just making sure is like, did he grab the same card? What did he do here? And we see that he swings 8 heavily, leaving 5 Don up, knowing that we're at 2 life. You can't play a 5 cost, but you can play a 4 cost, and that is even greater. Yep, the Kid Killer, leaving 1 Don up for his Conqueror's Hockey for the minus 1,000. We get a counter card. We get to keep our card alive. And now it's time to determine what we're going to do here. I think we're going to swing, I think maybe even 5 with the pudding. Five with the pudding. But no, we'll go ahead and use 7 here. Seven here, leaving 5 up with the pudding if he does decide to counter. If he doesn't decide to counter, then we can swing 7 and we'll set up our Usopp swing. Bam, use it, and bam, 3,000 to the Sanji. Leaving 1 Don up. We can minus a Don, search for a card. Or we could just let it rock. I think there's no harm in searching for a card, but let's we were sitting there waiting on him. Maybe it was a trigger. So we can go for a card that goes after the body, or we just grab a 2K to protect our Usopp. I'm down with protecting our Usopp. We do need to check our trash, see if we did trash any Sanjis. This deck doesn't have any ways of getting the Sanji back from trash. So that's the one thing about the Usopp. I don't know how many times we are going to want to swing with the Usopp just to set up our Sanjis. But it is definitely a good thing to have, because now we have a 7K body. He has a lot of searchers and he's searching. Alright, so let's do the effect to Anami. Sorry. And bam, there's the Luffy. He's gonna show us 2 events, the hockey and the unblockable. And he drops that Sanji. Gives a Don to the Nami, and now she can swing with 5. We have 1K if we need it. Alright, a little thinking there. Let's look, see how many Sanji up. There's the swing. Definitely can give him a 1K. He does have a full board 3 life. But we'll go ahead and give him a Gum Gum. This is a tough one. We'll go ahead and give him a 0 cost, and luckily we did get a 0 cost and a Gum Gum Red Rock. So we can get rid of one of his cards if need be. If we want to go for board. Ooh, he gives us a rush. So we'll go ahead and stop that. We do have some counter cards here. We do have a blocker we could drop. 7K body. I think first things first is, yeah, first things first, let the searchers fight it out. Let the women throw hands. That's an easy swing. I can swing 7 again just to give our Sanji some more damage. Yep, another 3,000. We'll check the trash later. Now we have an 8K Sanji, and we still have either Red Rock or Gum Gum. I think maybe, because I did 6 Dawn, I probably should left 1, tried to chance it with the Usopp swinging 6 into life. Instead of 7, I wanted the 7 to guarantee, but now I don't have. If I do Red Rock, I don't have any Dawn up for counters. I can Dawn minus to draw a card since I won't be able. Yeah, I'm counting it. Yeah, and instead I leave some Dawn up. We'll leave Dawn up instead. We could Red Rock 1, we could bottom deck, but we'll just counter. He's gonna have to get 2 swings in with 3 characters. This is a touchy. This is really touchy to do it that way, but we do have some higher. Oh, he triggers. He finally gets rid of the Gum Gum. I think he was thinking about getting rid of the Sanji, but that I would just minus a Dawn and we've been alright. So now we give it to his turn. I have 8K counter, 9K counter, and plus 1K. So I can really survive depending on how he splits the Dawn up. He's searching. I think, me personally, I would split the Dawn up into 3 and see if we can get one to go through, especially with Rayleigh's effect. But that would have been 2 6K bodies and a 5, and then we split the Dawn 3 3 4 plus the leader effect, which is another. So with the 8K, we're able to bam 9K swing it out, which is gonna leave us with another 9K counter, which what he has on the board that's giving 4 Dawn to Rayleigh, to get over it. Yeah, 4 Dawn on Rayleigh, and then Luffy, I think, wins him the game. Yeah, I think it definitely wins him the game. 7 here. add another Dawn. That's an 8K swing. 8K. 8K swing. If he swings 8K, we win. But he swings 9. Let's see. So 9 we have to take. And here comes an 8K swing. 8K swing. We can definitely counter that. And 1K. Even if we do have a 1K. Yeah. So yeah. He messed up. He should have just used more Dawn and swung at us. That would have been his game if he just used those 4 Dawn instead of playing out characters. But he also doesn't know. He didn't know if I had a plus 4,000 event card, which I had that 1 Dawn bluffing. So with our Sanji being 9K, he has 7 in hand. We can just go. We go 10, which is guaranteed, and the rest of the Dawn guaranteed. And I think I went this route first, swinging with leader first, because if there was a trigger, well, no, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, 14. Definitely a misplay on his part. But leaving 1 Dawn up when in a deck full of events is like, if you're fighting Nami, do you know if they have the 9K swing or not? She felt better establishing the bodies for next turn. But you just gotta understand, do you live next turn or not? Because if you don't live next turn, then you might as well just go for it. Now we have our UP Luffy. This is a matchup where we can kind of just go aggressive into him. We're gonna go ahead and drop the Sanji down because there's nothing really he can do to stop it. We do still have to swing to get the Dawn back. But we're gonna start looking, and again we have that Usopp, and we're only running a 1-of, but let's just say the mulligans have been great. We have a 2K. I debated about taking this, but I was thinking later on we might not be able to counter out of his stuff. That 2K may not be as useful. We're gonna go ahead and swing a 6K swing into here, which he took, which allowed our Sanji. It did give him a ramp trigger, so it got him to where he wanted to be for sure. Now the question is, do I swing with my Sanji? He does have the Von Clays on the board. We're gonna down -1, and we can either draw some more cards or bounce some cards to hand. We don't want to bounce the Von Clay because he can definitely play it again, but he won't be able to swing into us, leaving our Usopp in life a little bit more healthier. But we're just gonna draw 2 cards. It's a free draw. I think maybe swinging with the Sanji, but I didn't have any counter besides 0 cost in hand. So I'm just trying to leave the Sanji there. Let him get a little bit bigger. We'll see what kind of swing. And then if we can protect the Usopp, that'll be great. If he swings twice into our Usopp, so we'll try to block once. If he swings twice, yeah, he goes ahead and uses that. I was hoping he didn't swing with the Bon Clay. He just swung with the Luffy first, but because he did, we'll give it up and just take the 2K. Now, just deciding. The way we swing into other purple decks is we can actually swing before using the Dom minus, just because it didn't matter. We are looking for cards to get to hand. I think the Gum Gum Red Rock, just because the matchup is great. It's the only thing that's going to kind of keep things under control, but minusing the bodies as well is not a bad choice. And being able to draw a card and it's less Don are free. We'll go ahead and swing with a lot of Don just in case they want to block. Just make it where it's block plus 2 cards. They won't be keeping that alive. Now that our Sanji is at a decent 7, we can definitely ask for 2 more cards from him. Kind of want to just be aggressive now before it's later. He is, I think, at his 8 Don, so he's able to grab what looks like a 2K. Yep. OP7 Sanji. So he's at his 10 Don turn. He's playing really aggressive into me. We'll go ahead and take our first 6. And he throws another 6 at us. Do we want to Gum look for some more cards? Or just 0? And we'll go ahead and 0. Save the Gums for later. We might want a few more Don. There's a Katakuri play. Really expecting Sanji there, but the Katakuri is there. We have a lot of Gums here. This is the tricky part. We can definitely go for board here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to draw 1. Draw 1, hopefully get another card to play off of. Draw 1, and we get another one. So we minus a Katakuri. That way, if we do decide to swing into the Nami, which is the plan, we can do it without him trying to block for free. So now if we swing, I'm just doing the math, that's 5, that's 3. We're gonna just try to take it to him. If you wanna block and give us a couple of cards, we're down with that. If not, you just take the cards, and then that's us being aggressive again. He's gonna have to give us that 2K he drew, which is fine with us, and then we'll get a blocker. Leave 1 Don up, and we're solid. Just making it so that Katakuri didn't have any use that turn. Block if you want to. You'll give us more cards than not. And we got rid of the Nami. The Nami, so he's not fully blocked up. He's going at life. If we counter here, he'll probably go at our board. We do have a free block, so we'll go ahead and take that. And if he wants to block, we still have. If he wants to swing the Katakuri, then we do have answers for that. Here comes a Bond Clay, which means his hand isn't what he wants it to be. He swings a lot at our Sanji. We can't allow that. He actually goes up when we put the event into our trash, making it way easier to protect. And now we have another Sanji, as well as some more cards to draw, I think is the play here. Draw 2 more cards. We have the minus effect again. So we can minus him and now swing 6, gain 1. I know you have at least 1k in your hand. Let's see what you want to do. You're not able to block with the category. We're essentially turning the blocker off. We're using like 3 to 1 -1 Don to turn off that category blocker. And we're gonna swing 8 here. Debating if I should swing 7. I think 7 swinging with our blocker isn't a horrible idea here, but we go ahead and just leave our blocker up because we want to keep our Sanjis alive, and just in case he has something out of the box, some kind of rush, some kind of thing, we'll have the Reiju at least to stop it. He does have the Bonclays. Bonclays are really dangerous when our Sanjis keep growing in size. All right, so he does a 2k to us. We'll go ahead and just do the free block, save some counter. Now he's deciding to swing with no Don, which that 2k we would have used earlier. We're able to use it now. He copies, which he should have copied the Sanji. I'm gonna counter as if he did copy the Sanji. He tries to remove our character. That is stopped. Maybe remove the blocker, but she's a 9k. So yeah, nothing on the board. He can remove with Lin, but he can heal, which is very annoying. First thing we're gonna do is attack, just get our Don back, rest it. Now he has the option to do a free block, but he doesn't know what I have. If I have another one of those minus events, we're going into category. So he doesn't want to do that. We have a few cards. We have a lot of Don. So just thinking about what we're doing. If we drop the pudding down, see what we can grab, or we just swing big into him and see how he feels about. Yeah, just poke around. Here's a 10. You want to block, you still giving us 2k. You want to use that gum, go ahead and use it. We got a lot of Don to play with, and we only really need 2 up for counter events if need be. Another thing is, if you want to gum, you have to gum and still give us another card. So we're gonna go ahead and swing these 10s at you, see how you feel. We're gonna go ahead and drop another blocker and just end there. We have a gum. We have our other event if we feel like we don't need any more cards. He does have some big bodies now, but we also have some big bodies as well. We have some 8k Sanjis there, some 7k Reijus. He's gonna go ahead and swing 10. And yeah, the gum is definitely gonna be the card we want to do. Another thing with the gum that makes it so great is bam, just like that, they became even stronger. So now they're 9k after the gum swing. And we got some counter. So we got another 9k swing that we can deal with if he wants to throw some more Don on. Generally he doesn't, because if this is Sanji that he's thinking about playing, which now we know it's not, he swings 11. So we're gonna just no block and counter. He has one more swing, and possibly blocker with the Gum Gum, leaving 6 Don up. Not the play he's gonna do. He's gonna swing, and we're gonna go ahead and give him the 1K counter that we had in hand. Yeah, we have quite a few swings, and we top deck a Red Rock, getting rid of his blocker. So he has quite a few swings coming his way. We can go 7-7 just to test, or we can go 9-9, or it'd be 8. Just trying to get the right amount down. We'll just go 7, our smallest swing. We're gonna just swing 4 at him. See if we can get some cards out. I think 7, 8, 9, 9 is the optimal. He does have a lot of cards in hand, but only 2 bodies. So we actually decided to go 9 here. This would be a Gum Gum Giant to protect him. Maybe I'm not sure exactly how we're thinking about swinging here. Ideally, it would have been 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. But swinging 11. He takes the 11. I think just getting the 2Ks out of hand, leaving a blocker up isn't too horrible. For sure, he could get rid of one of our Sanjis. I have no cards in hand, 1 blocker. We're going to block that, because now if he wants to go into our Sanjis, he has to invest Don. But if he wants to play anything like a Katakuri, we'll go ahead and resolve, use trigger. We'll grab a Sanji. Sanji probably wouldn't have been the best answer there, but I just don't think he was gonna swing. And he does get the Nami. There was nothing to bottom deck a 5 cost, so it wasn't horrible choice there. And we get a 0 cost event. He has a lot of cards in hand with 1 blocker. I think big swings here definitely help, because now we just want to milk their hand. He had 5 down and he couldn't do anything with it. So he is in survival mode. We'll go 14, make him block. This, I'm not sure if I should have done that. I think I should have just swung into face. I think face is actually where we wanted to go. But with them taking it, I think we can definitely get him to block again. I don't think he has that much counter in hand. We'll see. We'll swing the 14 at him with 1 blocker up. I think maybe 13. Leave 1 up just in case we have Gum Gum in life. But at this point, he would probably try to go for board. This is where he either throws a lot of counter or just uses his blocker. So yeah, I don't think he has a lot of counter. This is really definitely a grind here. He does show a Sanji, which means he can Sanji play into his best bet would be an A drop blocker. He still a lot of cards in hands compared to mine. We're going. I go ahead and free block. Yeah. And Katakuri. I'm not sure if the Katakuri was just in hand and he couldn't Sanji Katakuri, or if he had a lot of Dawn that he needed to save. So right now we're just gonna swing big. 12. Here's a Gum plus some cards. And yeah, that Raging Tiger doesn't affect us too much in this matchup. He gives a few cards there. We'll Dawn -1. See what we can grab. The Red Rock. This is the second red category we've Red Rocked. I'll go ahead and just attach a Dawn, swing 6, and then we have a 10k swing. So even if he gums, he needs to give us some more cards, knocking him down. And yeah, he had the counter, but he didn't have the counter for the 7 swing if I decide to swing. Now we're on to the Kuzan. Alright, so now we're looking into the Kuzan matchup. These are the OP12, not super high tier matchups, but I feel like getting down to Sanji as soon as possible. And we're down -1, draw 2 cards. We are both the drawing deck, and I kind of want to be aggressive towards him as much as possible. We have the Sanji down, but I don't think we plan on swinging into him at the moment or anytime soon. We do want to get some Dawn on him. Gion. I'm not sure how dangerous he is into us. Your opponent must place 1 card from their hand to the bottom of the deck. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But what can we do? We can Dawn -1, and bam. There we go. We can bottom deck it. That's what we can do. Definitely. And I probably should have did the purple event first. That way I would have probably grabbed this sooner and been able to use it for 1 Dawn. But they did take after we swung, so the same effects. This is going to bounce a card back to hand if she chooses to trash 2 cards, which is fine with me. Trash 2 cards. We'll go ahead and Dawn -1. And yeah, they're getting rid of the tiger butt. Really good, because if I drop another Sanji, if I drop raid you down, you won't be able to use it. So very good on her part. Now we're just gonna use 1 Dawn, and yeah, let's go ahead and grab another Sanji. Now I'm only running 1 in Banka, so that is now gone, and I will not be able to get a event back from trash, but we are able to Dawn -1, and there's only 1 card we can't play, which is fine. Alright, so we're gonna swing 7. We could swing 6, but I think I want to wait But by the time I do wait, if they are going to play their next turn a 8 drop or something like that, then we have to wait even more. So it's tough. It's tough. It's tough for sure. What do we want to do here? We're gonna swing 5 into us. We'll give them a 2K because we don't want to give up the Reiju yet. We have a trigger, but it bottom decks a 1 drop, so we're gonna hold on to that. He's gonna make us Don minus again, which is cool with us. We wanted to Gum Gum, or we wanted to bottom deck one of the characters, but we're definitely gonna grab the blow for when he turns his card sideways. We can't bottom deck the card we wanted to bottom deck, but we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of any bodies that he could want to bounce back. We'll drop a body and we'll swing 6. Playing it a little slow. We need our Sanjis to get to at least 7 just for them to be impactful. He had another Tashigi anyway, where he grabbed the Sokka that he needed. That thing is annoying, giving a given cycle to his hand and making him, and yes, we definitely want him to swing, but giving him cycle to his hand and then making his leader get arrested Don, so just making his leader swings larger than what we want them to be. I think Gum Gum is the move here, but there are a lot of cards that I want to keep in hand, so he'll swing 8 and we will have to, should have maybe Gum Gummed. Yeah, I think Gum Gum may have been the answer there. It would have drew us 2 more cards instead of pitching it. But hey, we bottom deck 1 card. We will minus 3K over here. And we have a bunch of 7s that we can swing with, including leader if we decide to. We want to see if he wants to give us a 2K. We haven't been swinging with the Sanji, so it is possible. And he does give us a 2K. So our Sanjis get to turn sideways. If he wants to play a big body next turn, he will not be able to swing into our Sanjis. And we could have used more Don, but and yeah, leader effect. If we would have put 2 more Don onto the Sanji, that would have been a little bit more devastating. But me not realizing he had 1 Don up or not thinking about it, it is totally fine. He gets the Kuzan out, he gets the Garp out. We're unable to swing with one of our Sanjis. We cannot attack. He has a 7 cost, but we do have that Gum Gum Giant next turn. We'll go ahead and give him a counter card. And yeah, I don't understand. He should have swung into the one I can attack with, but maybe he was like, maybe I give it up or something. We used 1 there. Maybe we should just do the draw 2 card there, but I think we were looking for something more impactful. I mean, we already had that, so we get to draw 1, and then we grab the Sanji. We did a lot of cycling there, so we were able to get our Sanjis going up +1. Yep. Now we're at 10 Don. This is gonna be, he doesn't have the event, so now we're just gonna have to end. We'll see if he'll give us a lot of Don and swing into our Sanji. We still have a blocker to keep him alive. Or if he decides to go life, There he goes with the Sakazuki to cycle, make his cards a little bit stronger. That is a 9 swing 2 face, which is okay with us because he can only swing 8, which I don't understand why he didn't with leader, but he has 3 Dawn up, so we know that he may have 3 of those event cards. There's 9. He grabs his card, and then he's gonna have to give us another card, and then we're gonna swing again, and he's gonna have to do his event and give us another card. And now we still have 2 or 3 more swings that we can do here. I think now that he's down to 3 cards, he does have 2 bodies. We can risk it and go for another big swing, or like play some Usops or play some characters now. But we don't have any life, and he has 3 bodies. So ideally, we want to go for bodies now that he's got not too much counter in hand. We do have a blocker, so we're just gonna swing a lot at the Kuzan, giving him only 2 swings, hopefully. We'll see what he has, and we did know that he had that. I mean, it only made sense he left 3 Dawn up, but giving him another card in hand, just hard to say. She does play the Gion, which is gonna punish us for doing a event card on our turn. He swings 9 at us. We have the Gum Gum, which is going to rip a card from our hand after we do the effect. So now we can get rid of the dead card and still use a counter card. Now we have some more counter. He does swing 9 again, which is fine with us because we have the counter in hand. He has a lot of Dawn up. That's the only crazy thing. We're gonna go ahead and block to make him go all in. We have to block, pretend we can't block it, and now that we know we can block it, and that Gion's effect is only once per turn, now that we figured this out, we have 11 exactly to counter, and that was just really good decision not to like go all out that last turn and just kind of play with like lots of counters. He has a lot. He still has a good chunk of cards in hand. That's 9k counter. If he had two 2Ks, we can kind of go through here and try to see. He did play a 2K, so 2K is on board. We're just gonna go 9 because we know 9 goes through. And we also need, we'll go ahead and just do a free effect. Maybe we can get a card in hand. We do get a counter in hand. Swing 9 again. And now it's our turn to go all out, and they left. All right. So definitely enjoy playing this deck. Definitely a fun deck. I like the additions that I made, including this Usopp, which I only ran a 1 of, but I saw most of my games. You do see most of your cards because you're cycling a lot, but I was able to mulligan, get them into my hand pretty soon, play them on the 5 down turn, and just fill my trash up just enough to get my Sanji to +1. So he's really good at finishing games or getting your cards to get their effects, because they need 4 events. If you mill 7, the trash, you get those 4 events. The only thing bad about it is you will trash your character cards, which will not count, and you have no way to recur these characters out of the trash. So that is the sad thing about that. The good thing is, if you do need cards like Gum Gum Red Rock, or even this Gum Gum Jet Cleveland, which I actually like, and if we see more Rayleigh players, I might bump this up. But if we need to use these more than what we have, like I can use Gum Gum Rock 3 times with the Ivankov dying and getting that out, or just having Ivankov there to like die, get a card back in hand, and then you're able to Gum Gum Rain that card, or Gum Gum Giant that card, because they'll see you have 1 Dawn up, but 1 card in hand. You hit the block, and then bam, you're able to use your Gum Gum Giant. So there's a lot of synergies. If I could fit this up to 2, I might do that, just so you're able to use your events. It is taking out of the trash, so it could bump your Sanjis down, so you have to be aware of that when you're counting. And it's kind of hard to count on sim. I think what I've tended to do was look at the total number and then count the characters, since I don't have that many, to kind of understand how many events that I have in hand. These definitely, I like this deck. It's definitely fun. I do want to see about just filling in Gravity Blade Raging Tigers just for the matchups that swarm with small. This is definitely a good card to have, being able to bottom deck 2 6 cost characters, and with that Sanji and Red Green Smoker, or just Rayleigh, Zoro, all those characters kind of control their board a little bit more, slow them down a bit. That is nice. These are other optional free cards that you could play. The problem with that is you'll be doing Dawn -3 instead of 2. So that is the one downfall for that. You don't need a lot of Dawn with this deck, but just having the Dawn and being able to swing bigger is nice. But if you're able to rest a character, draw a card, or just KO a 6,000 power for Dawn -3, it's not horrible. I don't think I would put these in, but I just see them as options that you could do for free. The Gravity Blade, I do see myself putting it in there, but I definitely like the deck as is. I do want to bump up. I don't think I need to bump up the Usopp's because I saw him so many times, and he is like I just need his effect to go off 1 time and we're good, just like the Nami deck. But the Ivankov, I can probably see bumping her up and maybe minusing a Reiju, or some other card, some other character card. The puddings are useful, but not as useful. So maybe -1 of the puddings and grabbing the Ivankovs just to recur some of these cards, because Usopp did in one of my games bottom deck both Red Rocks, and if it was something I needed, like having 2 Ivankovs to kind of get those back, and are definitely handy, I would say. But you guys let me know what you think about the deck, what changes, any cards that I may should add or whatnot. Let me know. Until next time.